Good evening, students. Today's short video is on the properties of cardiac muscle. See, cardiac muscle is a striated muscle and involuntary muscle, and it is supplied by the autonomic nerves. And the first property is the autorhythmicity, that is the ability of the cardiac muscle fiber to generate the impulses on its own, and these impulses makes the contraction of the cardiac muscle fibers. So this was done by a modified muscle fiber, which is the sinoatrial node. The sinoatrial node is called the pacemaker, and the potential recorded here is called the pacemaker potential. And here the initiation is mainly by the funny sodium channel, that is they are the leaky sodium channels allowing the sodium influx, sodium entry, and the later part of the depolarization is supported by the opening of calcium channels and calcium influx, and the repolarization is by the potassium channel opening and potassium efflux. So this was the pacemaker potential, and this potential is happening automatically. And now the second property is the conductivity. So now this impulse from the SA node is conducted to other parts of the heart through the conducting pathway. The parts of the conducting pathway are the impulse from the SA node is conducted to AV node by internodal pathways. So the impulse is conducted through the internodal pathways to the AV node. AV node is the only structure which connects the impulses from the atrium to the ventricle. And from the AV node, the impulse will be conducted to the bundle of his and right bundle and left bundle and to the Purkinje fibers. And from the Purkinje fibers, it spreads to all the parts of the ventricles. And atrium, it receives the impulse directly from the SA node. Now this is the conductivity property, and this was done by the conducting pathways, which consist of internodal pathways, AV node, bundle of his, right bundle, left bundle, and Purkinje fibers. And the third property is the excitability, that is the ability of the cardiac muscle fibers to respond to the stimuli, and this was recorded as cardiac muscle potential, and this was recorded in the working cardiac muscle fibers. So you basically divide the fibers, muscle fibers, into two. One is the modified muscle fiber, that is the SA node and the parts of the conducting system, and the other one is the working muscle fibers. They are primarily involved in the contraction. So excitability is the ability of the working muscle fibers to the stimuli, which is received from the SA node and from the conducting pathways. Now this cardiac muscle potential curve has a depolarization and a little repolarization. Then we have a plateau potential. Then we have a repolarization. And the plateau potential is unique of the cardiac muscle fibers. And the fourth property is the refractory period. So that is the ability of the inability of the cardiac muscle fibers to respond to a second stimuli, whatever may be the strength of the stimuli. This period corresponds to the cardiac muscle potential curve from the initial depolarization part to one-third of the half of the repolarization part. So this refractory period is very unique. It helps, it is the reason why the cardiac muscle fiber cannot be tetanized, and it will not get fatigue also. The fifth point is the contractility. So contractility is the contraction of the cardiac muscle fibers, that is working muscle fibers, and this contraction is regulated by a law called Frank-Starling law, which states that the force of contraction is directly proportional to the initial length of the muscle fiber within physiological limits. This is regulates the cardiac output also, and this is heterometric regulation of the cardiac output. So the second point in the contractility is the contractility is influenced by the sympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic will causes increase in the contraction through the and the neurotransmitter adrenaline acting on its receptors. So to sum up, there are 5 properties: autorhythmicity, conductivity, excitability, refractory period, and contractility. Thank you.